Anything else you want to talk about before we start?
No.
Nothing.
Nope.
Okay. You've been warned. No, it's you.
Okay.
Yeah, oh my God. It's just
my turn. You get the hard part.
How do you do? We're about to unfold the story of
Ghost of Frankenstein.
My son, would you destroy that which I, your father, dedicated his life to creating? What if it had another brain?
Whose brain?
Your brain.
Forward! What good is a brain without eyes to see?
I warned you that you might regret this action.
Well, we've warned you.
You've been warned. Welcome back to Frankenstein Minute, the podcast that dissects the Universal Frankenstein film series minute by minute. I'm Bill Evenson.
I'm Tom Lang, and you join us for minute 27 of 1942's The Ghost of Frankenstein.
Yep, all new thrills.
All new thrills, apparently.
Yep.
So it says here.
Actually, not on this minute.
No.
Not a lot of all new thrills on this minute.
No, this is our all old thrills.
All old thrills.
And yeah, it just makes me want to go back and do Frankenstein over again.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay.
So here's what it says in the script. I think it's interesting what it says in the script. Interior study, close on book. The crabbed and faded writing of a German scholar. I love that. which is totally not what we
opposite
have.
of what we have.
Exact opposite. Against the background of the book, there is double printed a montage of exciting scenes from the original Frankenstein and also from The Bride of Frankenstein, with Colin Clive playing the part of Dr. Frankenstein.
I think that's cool that they
call
him
all
out
that
by
out.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, they call out Clive in particular. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they also reference, we're taking it from these two films.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have some exciting shots.
I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, aren't there? Because before that, we have what it says.
Oh, yeah, what it says, yes.
So do you want to read it? Or?
According to Henry's diary,
yeah.
I am sure I can harness the lightning and extract its life.
Well, that's all right. Let me interrupt. I'll interrupt 4 different times. Mm-hmm. It is lightning. I had thought that it was lightening, but here he's using lightning. Sorry, I'm making a bad joke. Anyways, because he wrote it correctly. He didn't write lightening or lightening. Anyways, and extract its life-giving power.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, is incorrect. Life-giving should have a hyphen.
Fine.
Just saying. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, this movie's dead to me now. I need but one more part to prepare the monster.
Oh, well, that's interesting, because I was going to stop you halfway through, but we'll go with monster. You want to do the part first or monster? There's a lot going on here.
Part first, because it comes in the sentence.
Because chronologically, yeah. What's the part? I mean, it's got to be Schwanstucker, I suppose, is the obvious joke.
One more part.
Need but one more part. And then, they're going to go steal another body. They're going to go... I'm getting ahead. So
tonight we should steal another body. But
whatever this part is, they got to go get it.
They don't have one part. We don't have one lying around.
We don't have this one part lying around.
Even that's wrong, because in next week's episode we'll find out they need an additional part.
Another part. That's a good point. All right, so he does say monster.
It's like when you're doing a project at home and you think you have everything.
You think you got it all,
God, I need one more thing.
Yep,
and I got to go back to
and you run to Home Depot and you get your thing and you come back and you feel all proud of yourself and you start to do it and I need one more.
Yep.
But it didn't really matter because they don't have brains at Home Depot, so you got to go somewhere else anyways. Right. But you're right. Prepare the monster. Well, I didn't even think about that part. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so bizarre that
Henry, that's what he wants.
Yeah, I'm going to make a monster.
I guess he says he's going to make an army of them. So maybe he knows that they're monsters. I guess so.
There's nothing about him. No, there's nothing about him in the first two films.
Oh yeah.
That when he's doing it makes him think it's a monster. It's only after the fact.
I think he says he's going to make an army of them because they're monsters, and then he also, when he comes out and Waldman reacts like anybody would. This is a horrible thing you've done. Idea. He has him do tricks. So he doesn't think of him as a person. He certainly isn't like, look at this great person. I've made myself a new friend. He doesn't do that.
That goes back to referring to the monster as it or he.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's interchangeable. I really wish there would have been a little more consistency.
Well, there you go. I think Henry's, what we're left with is not only is there that inconsistency, but now he's calling him a monster. Years after Clive was dead.
It's just an odd continuity thing, personally.
Yeah, I do too. But we got to work with what we get.
My creation, my
my final experiment is interesting too.
Yeah.
Tonight we shall steal another body.
Yep.
M dash exclamation point.
Yep.
All right.
Then we lap dissolve to the flashback. As
To the
Elsa,
flashback.
Elsa turns the page. It's kind of a nice.
Yeah, you can
It's
see.
almost a pseudo wipe because the way she turns the page, and then the images from Frankenstein are kind of underneath that.
Yes.
And it's kind of got a little mat around it. It looks like you're watching it on an old Philco TV screen or something.
Okay, I was gonna say like a Nickelodeon or whatever those
Yeah.
things are called. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, you can still see the edge of the book there,
Mm-hmm.
but also you can read it in the background
Yeah,
a little
it's
bit.
faint
So
in the
when you
background.
first go to do it minute by minute, if you're not paying attention, you might try to scramble to write down what it says. But what it says is what we're gonna see next week.
Yeah, it's the next
They're gonna
page.
show it
Yeah.
next week. The only
Yeah.
thing that we do get that's different is as she's turning the page, you see a couple of words that we don't ever see again, which it's the end of a line. It says research is based as she's turning it.
Okay.
And you got to watch it a few times to see research is based.
Yeah, I guess I couldn't see it that well.
So here's the clips. Are we going to go through them?
Yeah.
Because I've got them all documented here.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
You want to go ahead?
How about we alternate?
Oh, okay, sure.
Here's what I have for the first one.
Sure.
Clive and Fry at the gravesite from the movie Frankenstein. So Dwight Fry returns to this movie after having been
been in
an
it.
important component about
was-
6 months ago
Yeah.
for us. He's back, baby.
That's right.
But yeah, so that's what I got as the first one. I actually also started to write down approximate times.
Oh.
But I'm not going to keep doing that. First of all, I didn't pay that much attention.
That's too much, I think.
But I'll just say this one is at about 4 minutes, which makes sense if you remember how our podcast started. We had the
first
we had
minute
the vault,
was
or the Edward Sloan minute, the credits minute, the funeral minute, and then minute 4 was actually the grave.
was Bill
digger.
Dyer, yeah.
So this is right after that. 19 seconds later, they're out with their
All right.
shovels.
Second shot is of Clive and Fry hoisting the coffin up out of the grave.
Also from Frankenstein. About less than a minute later.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so far so good. They're doing a good job of tightening this up.
Yep.
And they're also showing the horror of it, in my opinion. I think it's nice to be reminded, that first shot and this second one especially, of that. They could easily have left that part out.
Right.
And I think it's cool that they included it.
Yeah, just how wrong this is.
How awful this is. Yeah. And then the next shot too, of Clive and Fry pushing the coffin on the cart.
through the
Also
mountains
from Frankenstein. Yeah.
Then there's a wide shot of Henry in the lab stirring some chemicals.
Yeah.
Or maybe, since it's Clive, he's mixing himself a cocktail.
Okay,
I don't know.
that could be. Absolutely. Yeah.
But
And then
also from the film Frankenstein.
from the film Frankenstein, a little bit later, that one's like 14 some minutes in. I'll just throw that out there.
Yeah, we've had a number of scenes in between.
Yeah, all the stuff with Bowles and Clark
and Van Sloan.
Yeah.
So there was 2 scenes in between, which is fine.
We were watching The Sopranos the other day. Jackie's never seen The Sopranos, and we're on season 3.
Oh, yeah.
And in this one,
we did that earlier this year.
did you?
Yeah.
This is the one where Tony's watching. What's the May Clark movie with the grapefruit?
Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
Yeah.
And when they got to that part, I go, "There's May Clark," and I was like, "Who am I talking to?" Like Jackie's gonna go, "Oh yeah, May Clark." Yeah.
No, Don knew though.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
From listening to the podcast.
Well, just
maybe Jackie
we
knew too.
And we took her to that triple feature. She went to that,
okay.
and so she
knows her May Clark from her her name?
Valerie Hobson.
From
her Josephine Hutchinson.
Yeah. So you did Clive stirring the beaker. Only thing I'll say about that is it kind of transitions well into the next shot, because he kind of leans forward, and the next shot he's leaning forward.
Yeah.
It's him leaning. He's laying the sheet over. Well, what I wrote here was he's laying the sheet over Junior, because that's what we've been calling him. But over,
I put it
might
over
as well call him
Boris.
the monster, since that's the name from
I
the
say he's
show
placing
now.
the sheet over Boris's head.
Boris's head. That's not him either, presumably.
No, I think it is.
In that shot?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then?
Or it's a dummy.
This is also from, well, I assume
Also
it's a dummy.
also from the film.
Also from the film Frankenstein. Then, what's next?
It's a wide shot of Henry and Fritz
Yep.
examining the monster's hand.
So this is right
This is
after
where
Fry
Fritz-
freaked out. Or
Fritz freaks out.
freaked out.
It's like, look, no blood.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it's that one.
Just a few stitches.
And none of this has any dialogue. It's just all new Ghost of Frankenstein music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Underneath
You
it.
laugh. You look at me like I'm trying to do all new thrills or something.
I thought you were
I
gonna
meant no.
say
I
that.
just meant it is a new score. They're not
It is, yeah,
emulating
yeah.
the original. Well, there
Well,
wasn't,
there wasn't an original score.
but they're not emulating. Well, yeah.
It's
okay.
not Bride.
It's not Bride music,
music
yeah.
or
But then
anything
again,
like
this
that,
is
yeah.
from Frankenstein anyway. So you did that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So then it's my turn.
Yeah.
So then there's a hand turning on a knife, what's called a knife switch, which is
yeah.
a circuit in a Frankenstein movie. Because if
Yeah.
you Google it, people call them Frankenstein switches,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of cute.
Yeah.
And the hand goes up, and then it sparks, and you hear it.
Yeah,
So
but
we
the
haven't
hand
heard
kind
anything.
of quickly pulls
And the hand
back.
pulls away
I'm
from the
assuming
spark.
it's Strickfaden's hand.
Yeah, probably.
Because this is a new shot. This wasn't from either
Okay,
film.
I didn't. Yep, you're right. I didn't write anything down.
Yeah, this is from.
I assumed it was from Frankenstein.
No, this is a
okay.
new shot altogether.
Interesting. Okay. And then there's other. Well, we haven't. Oh, that's the
Yeah,
next
we'll
one.
get
So
there,
then, all right, you go.
Then we see the table rising up with the machines sparking in the background. It's
And-
from Frankenstein.
It's from Frankenstein, and Clive is in that shot too, right?
Clive is in the shot. Fry is in the shot too.
Yeah, okay,
He's
right.
to the lower right.
Okay, good. All right. Then the next shot is just Strickfaden gear.
Yeah, there's a couple shots of Strickfaden
And
here.
well, I was gonna let you do the next one, but there you go. There's a couple of shots of Strickfaden gear. I was being strict to the chronology.
Oh, wow,
I do
sorry,
one
yeah.
Strickfaden gear shot, and then it's your turn to talk
Okay,
about whatever's
all right.
next. No, is that from Frankenstein? Probably.
Yeah,
then?
it is. It looks
Okay.
like it is.
All right.
Then there's a shot, I believe, from Bride
I think so too.
of Henry throwing a switch. It's the machine on the floor. It's
Yeah.
a big lever switch that he pulls
Yeah.
to the right.
Yep.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
that's from Bride.
That's the way I labeled it too. And then we see the table rising.
Well, there's more
More Strickfaden gear?
insert shots of Strickfaden gizmos. Yep.
Okay, maybe I missed one. But then we see the roof and the table rising from...
Well, first we see the moody shot of Henry from Bride, a close up of him.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about. There's
Oh.
another one. Okay, all right. Maybe I missed a few things. Okay. I wrote,
there
Clive
was-
close up looking up
Yeah.
from Bride. Yeah, that's the one where they show, where Whale in the original showed Clive in an extreme close up and then showed
Pretorius
I think it's hilarious. Every time I refer to a character by the actor's name and then I refer to the actor by the character's name, I'm just constantly doing it. And listeners, I just want you to know, I hear it too. I heard that I called him Clive and then I called the other guy Pretorius. But it's just, I don't know. But anyways,
for
Pretorius
those playing
isn't
along
in this,
at
though.
home, it was Ernest Thesiger.
Well,
yeah,
it's a
there's-
cheat because
yeah.
you're showing a scene where something completely different is happening.
Well, I know, but I'm sure
But
that
it's
they
something
chose
that's
it.
almost exactly the same as happening, so it works.
But I'm sure they chose it because it was a very evocative shot. He's,
Well, what I
half
find
of his face is in
I-
shadow.
Yeah.
It's a wide angle lens close up on him, so it's slightly
It's almost
distorted.
fisheye, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of a Terry Gilliam shot.
Right, yeah, totally, absolutely. And what's weird to me is that it's called out in the script that there are shots from Bride.
Yeah.
And I'll have more to say about that next week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, this is the model shot of the tower.
But what they
This is
do
what you were
here, and
talking
that's
about,
from
right?
Bride. Yeah, that's the next shot is
Yeah.
the model shot, and it's the roof, and you see the thing coming up, and so I think you see sparks.
No, first you see it come up,
oh,
and
you
they cut
see
back to Henry from Bride, and then they cut back to the model.
I did write that down, but I didn't read my notes. Okay, yeah, it's another shot from Bride, then the roof with the sparks flying.
Yep.
And again,
Then-
there's nothing in here to tell you that this is from Bride, so it's just all one thing.
No, I mean,
And it works great.
I'm sure in 1942 nobody knew the difference,
That's probably true.
but I don't think
Anybody was putting it together that close?
Yeah, no, not really.
And then there's Clive in a medium shot looking up.
Looking up,
I think that's also from Bride.
I think it is too.
It's interesting that he's wearing the same apron,
the surgical smock.
the surgical smock, so you can't tell for sure, but we're just going based on memory.
Yeah.
And we seem to agree so far. So it's official. This is shot
God
from
damn
Bride.
it, that shot is from Bride.
Then we see the table coming back down.
Table descending, which is from Bride.
And it's from Bride because you can
tell
see
because
the big,
cosmic diffuser
cosmic
on top
diffuser
of the table.
on top
yeah.
of the table.
Yep, I'm sure they chose that because it's more dramatic. It's,
Sure.
it's a bigger set. First
Like you
of all.
talked about at the time, it's just bigger and better. And yeah, if you're going to remake, or I'm sorry, this is sort of like remaking.
Well, it's
It's re-editing the
re-editing,
original
yeah.
scene. Why not choose that one? Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks great.
Right?
And then a Clive medium close-up looking up.
Yep.
I wrote Frankenstein question mark, but I feel like that probably is Bride. I don't know.
I think it is.
Okay.
I think most of the shots where it's just Henry framed against the machines are from Bride.
From Bride, yeah, I agree.
Because of the way the angles are and the lighting,
Yeah.
it has that Bride look, that sort
Right.
of operatic Grand Guignol sort of look that
Yeah.
Bride has.
Whereas Frankenstein
is much more
played differently
straightforward.
because, there's an actual audience watching what's
Yeah.
taking place over here, so it's sort of restricted.
It's-
whereas Bride just seems
It's just
huge.
like everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just monstrous, so to speak.
All right. And then we got one more,
One more shot of Henry and Fritz removing the sheet from Boris.
presumably, or the
Or the monster, we'll say. Or
something. Let's say
Junior.
the monster, since that's his name now,
Yeah,
according to the film.
The Junior.
Junior.
Which is out of sequence. It comes before
Yeah.
this the
That's
stuff
right.
we've just seen.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
whatever.
I get what they're doing.
You get what they're doing, and then the minute ends.
And then it ends rather abruptly because we both kind of reacted.
Yeah, it was kind of surprised. I was like, oh, is that how this minute ends?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. All right.
Got any more questions, wise ass?
That sound of, oh, God, are we doing this again? It's this sound of,
You don't have to. It's
are we skipping it?
your call.
Oh, okay. No, that sound of the wise ass comment thing means it's wise ass comment time. Brought to you by Patreon. Brought to you by our patrons. Sign up at patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute for, I think it's $2. You can just be our friend, and you get every episode a day early.
You
and
know,
access
you
to
don't
bonus
pay
content.
the $2 a month. You're no friend of mine.
That's right. That's right. You're not a friend.
Yeah.
I did notice because I went in and was looking through, and there is at least one person who doesn't pay anything.
Is it right?
Yeah. I don't know. I should never have said that. Now everybody's
everybody's
going
gonna
to switch to that.
Well, then they don't get jack.
You don't
though.
get anything for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got no access to the bonus, no access to the. You can
Episodes
probably
early.
hack it. You can probably get it and figure it.
Don't say that.
But then there's another tier called Wise Ass, and that's only for wise asses.
That
or
do
people
things
who,
for us.
or who just want to help us out. Yeah,
Well,
so
that's
you're either helping us out by paying, or helping us out by contributing comments that we'll read on the podcast, or
Well,
both.
at that level, you get an extra bonus in that you get to see the minute that we'll be discussing
Well, that's right.
because you post
Good
the minute.
point. I didn't say that part. That's kind of the
I
important.
think that's the bigger part. 'cause
Well, I
then
mean,
you can-
everybody's got the minutes too. They could do it themselves.
Well, you can, but this is you are watching the actual file
Yes.
that we're watching.
Yes, true.
So it'll be timed
It'll match
exactly.
up the way we think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do your own timing and your timing is off from ours, yours might be right and ours might be wrong. I can't. I
Yeah.
created these files all at once.
Well, that was like 6
plus
years ago. Yeah.
So yeah, they might be wrong for all I know. Okay.
All right.
But we're using them like they're the gospel. On to your comments. Mike Herman says, pour Colin Clive into this movie's hungry veins. Yep.
Well played. Nice.
I guess I go against the grain when I rank the 31 original over Bride, and this little minute of stock footage gives you good taste of why.
No, that's.
Yep.
I've flip flopped
Yeah,
for
sure.
my entire life. Which one I prefer? Because I do like the starkness and the straightforwardness of Frankenstein.
Yep.
And Karloff's performance is second only to his performance in Bride,
Yeah,
which is
probably
huge and operatic and hilarious.
Yes.
It's a hoot, according to James Whale.
Yes.
Yeah, I do that too. And like
Yeah,
when we were
I
doing
agree.
Frankenstein, yeah, that was the best film ever made.
Yeah.
When we were doing Bride, that was the best film ever
Yeah.
made.
They make a great double feature.
Oh, they do. They
There's
play really well
There's a
together.
lot of. They obviously have a lot in common. They have the same director, the same star, the same co-star,
same studio,
same studio,
sets, a lot of
same
it.
ideas.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, but they are also completely
very,
different.
very
So
different
for me
films.
to rank one over the other isn't. I think those two are the best two.
Yes.
There you go. And he doesn't. Mike Herman is assuming that all this footage is from Frankenstein, but like we've talked about, some of it
is from
Not only
Bride.
did the script say, "Please use
Please
some
use-
footage
yeah.
from Bride," but they did, and
Yeah.
we think we know which shots. Okay, so this is something that I saw the reaction to. Oh, it was about your anecdote about your shoes. Chuck on YouTube comments, Tom's new album to be released, Sticky Sneakers.
There you go.
I leave the album cover art to Doc Ivan, who then did it. Did you
Did he?
see it?
No,
Yeah, it's on Facebook. You'll have to find it.
I'll
But I
have to
should have.
find
I
that.
should have found it before we
Did
came.
he really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
We got
See,
some more.
I don't go to Facebook anymore, so
I try not to either. Yeah, I don't. it's so unpleasant.
Yeah.
But not our page or anything. But anyways,
Well, I could start looking at that only, I suppose.
Maybe.
Because I was looking at, like, puppy videos and pictures of Boris Karloff, and I got banned for violating their community standards.
Yep.
7 days in a row. Like,
awesome. Mike Herman comments on something, and I don't know what, because I never pay any attention to anything. You see, I appreciate the efforts to defend Lon Jr. So this, I don't know what minute this was.
well, it might have been
When I was trashing him?
you were trashing him. I mean,
I was
I'm
trashing
guilty
him.
of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But we had referenced Son of Dracula as
Oh,
being
that could
the
be.
best 40s
Yeah.
Universal, and I said I liked Chaney's performance in
Yeah.
that, and a couple people wrote in that did not.
Okay.
And I'll still defend that I like his performance.
Well, and then the other part of it was I said something like, I don't even know if I like Lon Chaney anymore because he
Yeah.
was so bad in the courtroom scene. But that courtroom scene is what it is.
But the scene itself is
The scene is absurd.
preposterous.
And
yeah.
like I pointed out, that first shot where he's just sitting in the chair, you're like, what the fuck?
It's almost like it's out of like Mel Brooks,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so absurd.
Yeah. All right. You see, I appreciate the efforts to defend Lon Jr., especially when you're dissecting a film he is pretty bad in. That article you referenced, oh, that's right, there was an article too.
Yeah.
Article you referenced didn't do him any favors, but his reputation definitely deserves some repair. Google Lon Chaney Jr. large adult son. It's a Vulture article that says Lon is like the Eric Trump of horror stars. I also wasn't impressed with
delightful.
Karina Longworth's Boris and Bela podcast when she only took breaks from plagiarizing Gregory Mank to laugh and say Junior sucks. Now, I got to be honest, I actually have a lot of problems with Karina Longworth's Boris and Bela podcast.
I've never listened to it.
She does a podcast that has a different theme or different story that she talks about, I think, every season. So it's called something like You Must Remember This.
Yeah, oh yeah, I have
So
listened to that.
there's a Boris and Bela one, there's a... you
Yeah,
know,
Dawn used to listen to that, and she said that she was discussing the black cat.
yeah.
And she said that she'll read stuff verbatim
Mm-hmm.
out of whatever source, and she reads it very flat and very dry. But then when she actually has things to say, then it's a little more lively.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. That's really interesting. Because her voice, you're right, when she's reading something, even if it's not flat, it's just wooden. There's something wrong
That's-
there
yeah,
that
that's-
I
yeah,
can't,
that's
I
what-
can't,
kinda
I
what
find
she
it really
said.
annoying. One thing that I think is really odd about her
Mm-hmm.
is that she's married to Ryan Johnson, who makes all kinds of stuff that I
Star
like.
Wars things
like
and,
those Knives Out and
Oh yeah.
what's the show that he did? Oh, come on, Poker Face, which I also like. So, and he made a Star Wars movie, and he follows me on Twitter, so I tell him every year or so that he did something I liked, and he says, "Thanks, Bill." And his wife has a podcast that I think is mediocre.
All right.
All right.
That's all the comments?
I mean, I've got some more, but we've got more podcasting to do.
I guess we do.
Why? Do you have a bunch more time to kill?
Me?
I mean, this
For the day? Or,
No,
or
for the-
oh, no.
I don't care about your day.
This will be short. And if nothing
It'll be
else,
short. Well, I got another one I can
Nothing
do.
else, I'll just put a record
Here,
on.
let me do one more.
Okay.
Chuck commented, and then this is going to be perfect because I have no idea what he's commenting on. Maybe I can
Alright.
go to the comment and it'll work.
Well,
Let me see
no.
if I can see.
Let's see if we can guess from the...
Okay, I'll just say it and then
Infer from the...
infer from the... he says, "Tell me about the rabbits, George." That's all he said. Oh, it's in response to
Mice and Men.
minute 23, witless for the prosecution. I really do like that. I should have told you if I hadn't before. I really like that title, witless. for
Some
the
of them I'm really
prosecution.
proud of. Some
That's
of
a good
them
one.
are just desperation.
Yeah, I suppose I get it. I mean, God knows what I'm going to do with these minutes because I always take a quote from
Oh,
the minute.
right. Yeah. There's
Oh, I guess there's the right what he wrote. Oh, I can
Yeah.
use those. But
Yeah.
the one from last week has no dialogue.
Right.
No. Well, there is stuff written. Doesn't matter. Join us next week to see what I do. Follow us at patreon.com/Frankenstein Minute. And, you know, do the $2 or the $5. Don't be a smart ass. Be a wise ass,
Be a wise
not
ass,
a
not
smart
a
ass.
smart ass.
Lower!
Night train to Mundofina.